Yo, what's up, guys? It's No One here today, and today we are talking about tripping alone versus tripping with people. Basically, we're just going to break down the pros and cons of, what are the benefits of being alone and with, people close to you or people you might not know. So we'll get into that too. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, comment. You know the drill. And without further ado, let's get to it. So tripping. Let's just talk about tripping, and I don't just mean dropping a tab of acid. For most people, tripping is that, but there are a ton of drugs you can trip on. There are countless. I guess not a countless, but tons of psychedelics out there, and it doesn't even have to be psychs to make you trip. Taking a dissociative like ketamine or delirium like datura will cause a trip as well. But to make things simple, and to meet more people's expectations, we won't determine our pros and cons based on those drugs, but more so psychedelics alone. And even then, many people will debate that different psychedelics will make you feel different if you want people around or not. And I can definitely agree, some psychs are more personal while some others promote interactions between, say, close friends and whatnot. But again, to keep it simple, we're going to put three of the most popular psychedelics and put it into perspective, and those three would be LSD, Shrooms, and DMT. I was debating maybe we should put mescaline or 2CB on there, but I have neither experience with those, so we're gonna have to stick with these three. And I have tripped alone and with people on these three. So we're gonna get into it. So we're gonna start with acid. So here's the drug most people, hear about, think about when they hear hallucinogen. Now, I personally love it. Well, just love it. Loved it the first time I tried it, and acid can be iffy whether I prefer to be with people or not. On some aspect, I definitely want to be with some people, but some I don't. It really does depend on how well I know that person, because with acid, if someone says something that's kind of like off, and it can give this vibe that maybe you shouldn't trust this person, and like this person is sketchy as hell and they're trying to fuck you over, and you can just think some ridiculous shit, and you just kind of labeled this person as kind of like this evil entity, and you get this idea stuck in your head, and it can be kind of super uncomfortable for the rest of the trip because of that. And on the other hand, when you're with people it's a little different, as they could act as somewhat as the safeguard for you. And it does depend on, how much you take as well. Trip sitters could be super helpful, but on the flip side, when being alone, I could really just jump into whatever I feel like doing. Like maybe I want to watch a particular movie, listen to a specific album, figure out what it means and what I can take from the trip on a deeper scale, and just think about the trip more and focus more on in it, if that makes sense. But I think I prefer to be alone with this, just so I can engage with the trip more, and that's kind of a personal thing. You might just be looking for a good experience, in which case people around you can definitely motivate a more positive trip and encourage a more positive trip, I've noticed, than when you are alone. But it does depend on what your mindset is as well. But personally, I'm at the stage where I do prefer to be alone. Moving on to shrooms. Shrooms definitely more of a personal, chilled out psych for me. Like, I will get super tired and just kind of want to relax, put on some chill ass music, and it's euphoric bliss. Being with other people, I don't feel like I would promote it, because I feel like only if those people are taking shrooms with you themselves, like if they take them, yeah, if you all take it, then yeah, people are cool. But if I feel like if you're with people who are sober, and not so much. I feel like, I don't know. It's just like I feel like everyone has to embark on the journey, and feel like everyone can see what's going on, type of thing. Because when you're with people, they don't get the idea that they aren't tripping. They have no idea what the vibe is or what the hell is basically going on in fucking the shroom land. Okay, the different perspective. And it's just kind of like, with people, you pick up the vibe very easily, and you definitely, it's kind of like you can read each other's minds in a way, but like you really can't, but it feels like that. But shrooms fill my head up with much more personal thoughts about just me as a person and the things that I've done, or like where I'm going in my life, and makes me really think really hard about it. And it can be a really life-changing experience that makes you find realizations, and you can better adjust your life after such an experience. So personally, because of that, I prefer to be alone on shrooms. Next, DMT, the big fucking papa, fucking Dimitri. Most people haven't done DMT, and there are a lot of people who aren't really down for it, I find. Plus, it's actually really hard to come by. It's definitely one of the strongest hallucinogens out there. And this is an easy one. For me, I would definitely be alone with this one. But I would like a trip sitter. I just want a trip sitter, not people to interact with. So I'm alone, but there's someone actually watching me, making sure I'm cool. It would just make me feel more at ease, I feel like. But I don't want other people there because they would fuck up the trip. Like, this would be terrible at parties or like in a public place, I feel like. In a controlled setting like your room or something is a lot better, and a trip sitter would be nice because it's just that extra safety precaution, and someone will be there to make sure nothing goes wrong, and even if your trip does go bad, you will return safe. But you can do it alone too. But in all honesty, I don't see a difference with being alone in a trip sitter, besides that little safeguard feeling, I guess. But and the rest of the trip sitter like fucks you over, but when you break through, but you have no real conception of this, and this reality, and you're in the DMT reality, I suppose. But we'll get into the the DMT trips someday for y'all. But that's all I got to say about this. For the most part, I feel like it's much better to be alone because you get much more out of the trip than you would with other people. Because with other people, it depends. Other people, I feel like it's more of a bonding situation, and that might be good too. I had trips that I felt like I've grown closer to people in such a way that we shared experiences that are, unforgettable, and we'll always share that experience. So it's something you got to decide. I definitely do like, the personal sides of it and learning more about myself. I feel like that's my forte, I guess, when it comes to it. But I will trip with other people here and there. And it does depend, are these people sober or not as well. Sober people, they won't feel what you're feeling. They won't know what's up. It's kind of like you're tripping, they're not. And it's just like, I don't know. But if you want to see more shit like this, like I said, subscribe if you haven't, comment. You guys know what's up. And it's been someone that's no one, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.